All right, welcome back everyone to another episode of the Run the System podcast. We are back this week with a strangely optimistic and happy feeling episode. I know the last few episodes have been really serious and really focused and kind of looking on coming out of winter blues and trying to dig myself out of whatever hellscape that I dug myself into mentally over the last couple months. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of that going on, but this last weekend I was in Boston for the Boston Marathon. I was not running it, I was spectating, but being up there in that city for that race is something that I think everyone should witness at least once in their lives. There's a saying that was being tossed around a lot during the weekend, which was, if you've lost faith in humanity, go watch a marathon. And if you've lost faith in yourself, go run a marathon. And that was definitely true this weekend. We saw the best of the city come out screaming, yelling, supporting complete strangers. We saw people at the finish line helping runners make it that last little bit whose legs were literally failing them 150 yards from the finish line. It was really magical to see. But before I get too much into the race, I wanted to give a whole recap of the weekend. So Friday, we drove up. We left Maryland at 5 a.m. with coffee in hand, the first of many coffees, I would say. And forgive my voice for sounding like crap right now. The allergies kicked my ass up and down Boylston Street on Monday, and I've been downing Zyrtec ever since, so just be nice for that. But Friday we drove up. We got up to Boston, got in town about 4:30, had some errands to run outside of town for a little bit, and then we definitely got in town real quick. And Friday night we went to, my friend and I who drove up, we had a shakeout run for the marathon on Friday. She was running the 5K on Saturday, so did a bit of a modified shakeout run, but you don't need to run the distance of your race as a shakeout run. That's what we call bad training. So she made the right call, hung back a little bit, but still got some nice pictures, went over the Charles River and all that good stuff. The shakeout run was sponsored and hosted by Whoop, based right in Kenmore Square, which was awesome. I did not realize that the Whoop headquarters was literally right under the Citgo sign across the street from Fenway Park. So that was really cool to see and look up and be that close to such a cool Boston landmark that I had never seen that close as someone who grew up in Boston. So that was really cool. Whoop did a great job hosting everyone. They brought some of their influencers in. I got to meet one of the running influencers who I've been following for a little bit. He is really cool, really great guy, and has been doing a lot of really cool content lately, similar to some of the stuff I've been talking about with kind of the mentality and like perceptions towards runners and not towards runners, but towards running for runners, and the perception of like, why are we running? Like, what is our why, and why are we continuing to do this and put ourselves through all of this? It's not always easy. It's not always fun. And sometimes it's just not there. And you really start spiraling and wondering, like, what's the point of all this? I used to really like this. I used to have fun. It used to be a blast. And now it's a chore and it sucks. So a lot of cool content with him. I'm not revealing his name yet because he might come on the podcast soon. So I am fingers crossing on that one. And yes, let's hope that my email reaches him successfully. Although currently he is in London getting ready for the London Marathon, which he is running on Sunday. So good luck to him. But so that was Friday, and then we went out, grabbed some dinner after the Whoop event because just pizza was not enough for the 5K. So Saturday we woke up, friend ran the 5K, had a blast doing that, had a blast cheering him on, seeing all of that good stuff. Then Saturday we walked pretty much everywhere around Boston. We put about 26,000 steps on, at least I did, on Saturday, just walking around. We went up to Beacon Hill. We went almost into Charlestown. We went down to almost East Boston across the river. We went back up to the Expo. We went to Kenmore Square. We just kind of went everywhere, especially around like Newbury Street and Boylston. The Expo was incredible for the marathon. It was just electric seeing so many people who were running Boston for their first time, getting their jackets, finding their names on the walls. It was just really cool to see and witness, not as a runner, because I remember when I ran Boston, I was so nervous. I just wanted to get in, get my stuff, get out. And had no idea what to really expect, and especially that, like also not knowing all the events and everything around Boston, which was, now I know all that stuff's happening, so we will definitely be doing more next year. So on Saturday after we walked around Boston, we hit the Expo, we walked up to see a live recording of the Nobody Asked for This podcast hosted by Kara Goucher and Des Linden, which was absolutely hilarious. It was great to see two elite, well, if you were there, you'll get an elite and a VIP runner experience talking about the sport and commentating on who they thought was going to lead the pack on Monday, how they thought they were going to do it, how the American women were going to do it, how the American men were going to do it, and all that stuff. So it was really cool to see that kind of firsthand sportscasting and sports announcing. I've never done that before, so it was really interesting to see, especially from two absolute legends like Kara and Des. Des is now also going to London because Des decided to run like the 150-mile race through the Sahara like 2 weeks ago, and then absolutely crushed and owned the Boston Marathon on Monday, and now this week is doing London. Why? Because sure, why not? You're Des Linden. You can do whatever you want. No, but seriously, she is phenomenal, and wish her the best of luck in the London Marathon coming up this Sunday. So after that, we kind of headed back and we just chilled and vibed for the evening. Sunday, we woke up, we went out of town, we kind of walked around where I used to work in the Blue Hills a little bit, which was kind of cool to see how much hasn't actually changed in the 12, 14 years I haven't been there. Met up with another one of my friends, moved some boxes around for my big move coming up in, like a month. So still a lot to do for that one. But after that, on Sunday, we went to the IMAX theater and saw Project Hail Mary, which was cool, and then got home and went to bed. But then Monday we got up, got some breakfast, moved around, met up with a fellow Project Endure athlete, which was really cool, seeing some PE in Beantown. We walked up to Kenmore Square, where we were able to see the elite runners coming in and coming through Kenmore at the last mile marker, which was really cool, right in front of Fenway and all of that stuff. So that was really cool to be able to see them come in and just absolutely fly by. The winning time, which was a new course record for the men, was like 2:01:51 or something. It was ridiculous. It was really cool to see just how fast some of these athletes are. Then we headed back down from Kenmore Square, back down through Boston, kind of navigating our way, we hit the Brooks Hyperion House, which was really cool, which used to be a Star Market, the one over the Mass Pike, which was, it took me a second to realize what it was, but when I realized what it was, I was like, what? So yeah, weird seeing a grocery store now be the Brooks Hyperion House for the marathon weekend. After that, we walked further up. We hit up, walked down Com Ave and Newberry Street to get into Boylston, where we could then watch our PE friend's husband, or fiance, run and finish the race, who he also killed it, and it was phenomenal. But it was really cool just seeing the electricity in the crowd and seeing how much of the city came out and supported everyone. They were yelling, they were screaming, they were yelling out bib numbers, they were calling out names. It was, people were moving aside. It's like, oh, my girlfriend, my boyfriend, my partner is coming up. Can I squeeze in? And people were just rotating around and letting people go in and see their loved ones cross the finish line and run up Boylston Street, which you don't often see. Usually it's, no, I was here and you don't get to get in my way and obstruct my view. So it was just really cool seeing people regain and show moments of humanity. Kind of restores your faith a little bit. But for me, seeing Boston was really eye-opening, and it kind of rejuvenated and renewed my enthusiasm and reminded me why I love running. You don't do it because it's easy. You don't choose the marathon because it's easy. You don't choose to put on your running shoes and go out for a run because it's easy. Even on your easy runs, it's still not easy. Anything can happen on any run, and at any moment, everything can go horribly wrong, be it your stomach suddenly sucks, not to be TMI, but your bowels don't cooperate with you. You twist an ankle, you catch a curb or a cobblestone or brick along the way. Like, any number of things can happen. But it is the hard that we choose. And for whatever reason, we love it. We really do. The one thing that really kind of gets me with these marathons, be it marathons or ultra marathons or even Ironman competitions, is you are running the same exact course as the best of the best in the sport. The person who is running a 5:35 marathon is running the same course as the person who's running a 2:01 marathon. And there aren't many sports that I can think of where you compete on the same course, on the same field, rank, turf, stadium, whatever, as the best of the best who do this full time, who are way faster than I will ever hope to be. And I think that's just really cool and really special. And just taking a minute to kind of reflect on that and really appreciate everything that running can do. And sure, there's people who think that running a marathon isn't special, or who are training for full Ironman, who go out and run marathons regularly, and that's fine. There are people who will always throw shade at the runners, at running communities. There are people who will throw shade at people who walk. There are people who will throw shade at people who sign up to walk races. Definitely not throwing certain brands under the bus. They just do it. Yeah, gonna just leave that one there. They just do it and throw shade at people like that, who want to walk and might be in a different place in their fitness journey. There are also people who, like when I ran Boston, I sure as shit didn't qualify. I ran with a charity. And there are people who think that I shouldn't be running Boston because I didn't qualify for it. And to that, I say, go fuck yourself. And when was the last time you ran a marathon? Or when was the last time you raised over $7,500 for a charity? So, yeah, go fuck yourself on that one. That being said, like, is there gray area and room for interpretation with some of this stuff? Yes, there is. It's never going to be perfect. However, the blanketed kind of weirdness that comes in with some of these races, it's a shame to see. But for the most part, being out there at Boston on the course was just phenomenal. The city showed up. There's nothing really more I can say than the city showed up. And by the city, I mean all of the cities. There's Hopkinton, Boston, Natick, Newton, Wellesley. Oh my God, I'm blanking. I should Brookline. All the cities showed up. There were people cheering along the way. There were signs. Of course, it was 420, so you know. Yeah. But no, it was just really fun to be up there, and definitely reaffirmed my excitement for getting back up there permanently at the end of May. So I'm really looking forward to it. In addition to all of that, it's really kind of being up there really kind of dialed me back into my own training. So starting recently, I have a new running coach who is phenomenal. She actually ran Boston on Monday and absolutely kicked ass. So I am working with her on training for Cape Cod and Philly this year, and officially training will start like May, so in the next 2 weeks or so. But throughout April, we've been just kind of cruising along, getting a feel for it, seeing what scheduling looks like, when we can make these long runs, when we have to pull back a little bit. But yeah, Boston reignited the fire for training, and it could be that it's also warming up, and I actually want to go out and run, even though it's hard and a pain in the ass. But going forward, we got our eyes set on the Cape Cod Marathon. We have Broad Street next weekend on May 3rd. That is a 10-miler in Philly, so I'll be driving up there for that one after work on Saturday. But after Broad Street, there aren't any races left until Cape Cod as of now. So hopefully we'll be able to stick with the system, stick with the plan, and keep going and getting all those miles in. But yeah. At some point, I think I might want to run Boston again. I can't imagine being up there for very long and suddenly deciding that I'm never going to run. A bunch of people have asked me if I'm going to run Boston next year, and probably not next year with some races I already have going on. But again, I don't know. I'm not ruling anything out like that. I'm just taking it slow, seeing what we have out there and what is what's available and what the future brings day by day. But yeah, so I'm kind of curious if anyone has been to Boston, has run Boston, or if anyone knows of any races that are just as electric as Boston. I know some of the other Abbotts of New York, Berlin, London, Tokyo, Chicago, now Sydney, I'm sure are all electric. So if you guys have been to any of those, I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to hear your experiences. And hopefully your guys' training is going well. We are just really getting into the meat of summer training and racing season. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're not overburdening yourselves or coming out of the gate too strong, and you are progressing productively and continuing to run your own system. So that's about all I have for this week. A nice and short 20-minute episode. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening to my reflections on Boston, getting into some excitement despite my allergies absolutely kicking my ass today. But yeah, see you guys on the next episode. Hopefully it won't be 2 weeks, but I keep saying that. It's always like 3 weeks. So see you guys on the next episode. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about or go over, any questions that you have, or anything of the like, and I will see you guys at the starting line.